Okay guys, we are going to be making a work cycle real quick. So without much further ado, let me go into the video immediately. Now to create a mesh, all you need to do is, or a character in Blender, all you need to do is to click on file and then click on new general. If you are using Blender 4.0 or 4.4, no probs, right? Just click on file, new, and then general. You good to go. Right now I'm going to deform this default cube here. All you need to press is to press 1 on your numpad to go into the front orthographic view. Don't forget that, guys. If your front orthographic view is not turned on, to enable your front orthographic view, you can do that by going to the edit, you go to preferences, and then under preferences you can just click on inputs, and then you click on emulate numpad. You can do this if, just check this, if your laptop has no numeric keypad, then you check this emulate keypad so that you can use the keys on before immediately after the function keys, right? This will work. Okay, let's move on. Now I'm on front orthographic view with 1, so I need to duplicate this cube here. So what do? I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate. So I want it to be on Z axis, right? The blue line. What do? I just need to press Z to leave it there on Z axis, right? So I'll just put it there and click enter. I'll click again and duplicate this with Shift D, and then this time I want it to be on X axis, so I'm going to press X and then leave it there on X axis. Good. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add a mirror modifier to, as in, make the hands and the leg of the simple character. So what do? First of all, I'm going to click on the modifiers property tab and then click on add modifier, and then I'm going to search for mirror modifier, because that's what we'll be using. You search for mirror modifier. Here is mirror modifier. You click and then you select the eyedropper tool here, right? And then click on the body as the target. So once you click on the body, voila, it's mirrored. All right. Okay, now we have to make the legs with the hands. So how do we do that? You just press Shift D to duplicate again and then drag down. Good. And here we have the legs. Awesome, guys. Good. So the next thing to do is to bevel this mesh object. But before we bevel the mesh object, we need to apply the modifiers we've already created. Now, to apply the modifiers, first we are going to start with the hands. You click on the hands, and then you come back to where you have this modifier, and then you click on this small arrow button, and then you click apply to apply the modifier. Good. Then you come back to the leg, and then you still come back to the small arrow icon here, and then you click on apply to apply the modifier. Good. Immediately after this, press A to select everything and press the tab key to go back into edit mode. Right now that we are in edit mode, we are going to separate all the parts so that we can use it for anything we want to do. So to separate all the parts to their individual objects, all you need to press now is P, and then you click on separate by loose parts. Awesome. Good. Now I'm going to go back into object mode. To go back into object mode, you press the tab key to go back into object mode. Now let's see if these parts are all separated. Good, they are also separated. Yeah. All right, the next thing we are going to do now is to bevel these objects. Now to bevel these objects, we are still on object mode, right? So you press A to select everything, right? You press tab to go back into edit mode. Now that we are on edit mode, you press A again to select all mesh objects or cubes. Then all you need to press now is Ctrl B to bevel, right? Once you hit the Ctrl B, you can drag this thing here. You can see it can give us various types of robot like shaped object. So I think I'm good with this. Let's use this for this animation. Fantastic, guys. All right, now it's time for us to add the armature and then rig this mesh object and then give it various animation of our choice. All right, let's do that quickly. So we're going to go back into object mode. Click the tab key to go back into object mode. Beautiful. All right, so now to add an armature to this object, very easy. All you need to do is to press Shift A, right? But before that, let me first of all select all these objects, right? And then right click and then you click on shade smooth. Good. Or you can also do this shade auto smooth. Any one that trickles your fancy, you can. Then let's apply a mesh material to this, or a material to this object. So I'm going to do that individually. I'll select on this object first, then I'm going to go to the material property tab, and on the material property tab you just hit this new material here, right? Once you hit the new material, you click on the base color here to select any color, then turn this to RGB. Now let's select red for this. Okay, now you can see the color, right? To see the color in real time, just press Z on your keyboard and this comes up, then you click on material preview. Voila, you should be able to see the color you've applied immediately. Now let's do another material for this object. What do? You click on new material again here, this icon here, just click on it and then click on this base color and then select any color you like or that trickles your fancy. Okay, we'll do same for this new material. Quickly, let's do this very fast to wrap up this tutorial. Okay, let's go. All right, okay, and then let's do for this, you click on new material and then voila, let's hit this very fast, guys. Yeah, and what color do I give to this? Let me check. You click on new material again and then let me see if pink can go. Good. Okay, so here, should I make it white, or will white be fine? Should I leave it as white or should I give it another few color? So let's see if I can get another few color. All right, let me make it as turquoise blue or something. Okay, good, fine, we're good to go now. So we finished applying the materials, right? Now we need to create an armature. What the armature does is that it adds a kind of skeleton to the mesh, to the character, and this skeleton or rig is used to animate the character. All right, let's go into that immediately. To add the armature, all you need to do is to press Shift A, right? Once you click on Shift A, you will find the armature icon here. Now if the armature bar is not activated, to activate these bones here, all you need to do is to go back to edit mode, go to preferences, and then under preferences you click on add-ons, right? And then you search for rigify. That's what you search for. You type rigify. So once you type rigify, you find it there. Just check this button, click and check this button, like mine is checked right now, right? To enable the rigify button. If the rigify button is enabled, you should be able to see the armature. Once you click on Shift A, you can see that you can find the armature. So we are going to use a single bone to do this, guys. So before I add the bones, sorry, I need to do something real quick, which is very important. So I'm going to select all this object first, and then I'm going to press G and Z to move it up and just place it on this X axis for easy rigging, right? So now I am going to press Shift A and then add a single bone. Now that the bone is added here, so all I need to do is to press G and Z to move it up. Okay, remember to bring it to the front, what do? Just click on the object property tab click on viewport display and make sure this in front is checked. Now that is in front, we can go back to edit mode by pressing the tab key again. We are now on edit mode, okay, and then we click on the button here and we press G to move the bone, and we want it to be on Z axis, so we just move it a bit this way. Good. Now you press E to extrude, okay, yeah, and then you press E to extrude again, and beautiful. Now you click here and also press E to extrude, right, and click and E to extrude, and awesome, guys. Now to symmetrize the bones, you need to name the bones properly to have a mirrored part of the bone on the other side. How do we name the bones properly? I'm going to show you guys this immediately. So all you need to do to name the bones properly is to click on any bone, right? You click on the bone property tab. Now on the bone property tab, you can quickly name the bones. So I'm going to call this leg dot. Make sure you put the dot, very important, dot L, representing left hand side, right? Then I'm going to click on the hip bone. I'm going to name this hip.L immediately. So I'll come here and say hip.L. You can see that, guys. Name the bones properly. Very, very important. So I'm going to click on this part and call this shoulder.L. Shoulder.L. And then I'm going to call this hand or arm.L. That's the last part, arm.L. Good. So you can see now that I've finished naming the bones properly, I'm going to press A to select all the bones. So I'm going to press, oh, this is bad, so let me, okay, enter. Now I'll press A to select all the bones, right? So once you press A to select all the bones, you right click immediately and then you click on symmetrize. Good. You can see that the bones have been symmetrized to the other side. Now let's confirm. If you click on the bones on this side, you can see that it is named arm.R, right? This is possible when you name the bones properly. Okay, so it's time for us to now animate this character since we now have the wig, right? Okay, to animate the character, all we need to do first of all is to select all the objects. And how do I select the object? First, I'm going to go back to into object mode. So I'm going to click on each of these mesh objects, hold my shift key, and ensure I select all the mesh objects first, right? So immediately after selecting the mesh object, I'll still hold my shift key and click on the armature. That's the rig. Okay, so now I'm ready to parent it with automatic weight. And to parent it with automatic weight, you just click on Ctrl P, right, and click on, so you press Ctrl P and then you set parent to automatic weight. Good. Now we are ready to animate. So to animate, you have to go click on the object mode and select pose mode. So we are going into pose mode for animation. So if you click on pose mode, we can now animate with pose mode. You can see if I click on any of this bone, I can press R. You can see it to kind of deform all these bones. You can see with R, I can deform the bone. I can do anything with these bones that I want to do. You can see that. Now guys, don't forget, if you want to reset the bones back to normal, all you need to do is to press A to select all the bones and press Alt R to reset the bones back to normal. Okay, fine, let's animate now. Now to animate, I'm going to drag up this timeline, right? I'll bring up my timeline and then just pan my view down here. So I'm going to press 3 on the numpad key to go into side orthographic view. Good. I'm in side orthographic view. Now we are going to be adding keyframes. To add a keyframe, first of all, I'm going to press A to select all the bones, right? And then I'm going to press I to add or insert a keyframe. You can see the diamond leaflets here have been added, right? Showing that I've added a keyframe for this first pose or position. and then I'm going to just come to this end here and reset my to just my frame. I want my frame to be 50 frames. Okay, good. You can see that I have 50 frames now. So I'll drag my timeline to frame 10. So I am going to now use number 4 on my numpad key to rotate this object a little, then click on the shoulder, press 3 again to go back into side view, and press R to rotate. So I'm going to just rotate this hand a bit, press 4 to see my side, and then click on this hip bone, press 3 to go back to side view again, and press R to rotate. So I'm going to put this way, right? Press 4 again to rotate, and then I'm selecting this bone this time, press 3 and then press R to rotate and take this other way. Okay, so press 4 to rotate a bit, select this hip bone, press 3 to go to side, and press R to rotate. Good. So we have another now to keyframe this, all you need to press is A to select all the bones, and you press I to add another keyframe. So I'm going to go to frame 20. Once I get to frame 20, what am I going to do? I'm going to press Alt R to reset all the bones. You can see the animation here is very easy with the rigs and bones, right? So I need to add another keyframe from here. Since all the bones are already selected, I'll just press I, right? I've added a keyframe there. So I'll go to frame 30, and then this time I'll still press 4 and then select this bone, press 3 to go to side, and I'll press R and then take that this way, 4, and then click here and 3 for side, R. Okay, good. And then 4, and then click, press 3 and then press R to rotate. Okay, alright, so I am still going to press clicks to select this hip bone, 3, and then press R to rotate. Good. Okay, so now to insert this keyframe on this position, oh, this is, let me just reset this properly. Okay, and then let me correct this. This is supposed to be at the back, so I'm going to
I kept one for you.
okay, I think the poses are right now. So to add the keyframe, all you need to do now to add the keyframe is to press A to select everything, and then you press I to add the keyframe. Good. So let's see. Okay, this is what you get in the animation. It starts from here, you see it moves side, it comes here, resets, move side, and it comes to frame 40. We are going to reset the bones all back again. So when you get to frame 40, let's see, this is frame 20, it comes here, we get to frame 40, so we reset all the bones here by pressing Alt R. Good. Now that all the bones are reset, you are going to press I to add a keyframe. Fantastic. So we are almost done. Now this is a complete walk cycle, right? Now to make it move from point A to B, very easy. All we need to do now to finish up this walk cycle animation is to click on let's go to front to graphic view first by pressing 1. Now we are going to press Shift A to add now before we do that, let's exit the pose mode. So click here and go back to object mode. Right now press Shift A to add a mesh circle. Now once you add a mesh circle at the base there, press S to scale this up a bit. Okay, so we are going to be using this mesh circle for the entire animation. So here you select the bone, right? Once you select the bone, we are going to parent the bone with the circle, or you select the mesh, right? Okay, let's just parent the bone to the circle. So you click on the bone and then hold the shift key and then select the mesh circle and you press Ctrl P and you click on set parent to object. Good. So we'll press 3 again to go back to the side view. So now let's make this walk from point A to B. So what do we do to do that? You take your timeline to 1, right? You press I to insert a keyframe. Now that we've inserted a keyframe, so we just move our timeline to maybe 40, right? Then click on the mesh circle and press G to move it. And where are we moving it? We are moving it on Y axis, so you press Y to move it down on the Y axis, right? And now you insert a keyframe by pressing I to insert a keyframe. Now hit the space bar to play the animation. You can see that we have an entire walk cycle. Awesome, guys. Good. You can see now the last part of this video to render and export this animation. Good. Now to render the entire animation is a very easy and simple process. So what we are going to do now is to, first of all, we are going to add a background, a backdrop to this object. But before we do that, I am going to be using this view as the camera view. So all I'm going to press Control Alt and 0 to set this view as my camera view, right? Now that I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is to add backdrops to the back of this object. So I'm now going to use Shift A, and then I'm going to add a mesh plane, right? And then S to scale it up. Just scale it with S. Good. Okay, Shift A again to add another mesh plane, right? This time I'm going to scale it, so I'm going to press R to rotate and then press 90 to spin it 90 degrees and then press X to rotate it on X axis. I'm going to do that again. I said you press R to rotate it, right? Oh, sorry, let's go out of this camera view first. To go out of the camera view, you press 0 to go out of the camera view, right? Shift A to add another plane, another mesh plane, right? And then you rotate this. So to rotate it, you press R to rotate, and then you press type 90 degrees, right? To turn it 90 degrees, and make sure you press X to put it on X as is there, and then you press enter. Now let's scale. You can scale by pressing S to scale. Good, fantastic, guys. Now that we've scaled the back side, we are going to press 3 to go back to the side view, right? Then you press G to move, and then Y to move it on Y axis, and just move that behind, a little bit behind, and press 1 to go back into front orthographic view. So let's play the animation and see what happens. Cool. Good. Good. I'm just confirming to see that my object moves very well. Okay, now we are ready to render. How do we render? Now that I've set up the backdrop, all we now need to do to render is to click on the render settings, the render property tab settings here, right? The settings are just fine. You can leave it as Eevee. Eevee is very good, right? You don't need to use cycles for now, just leave it as simple Eevee. But the main part is to come down to this output properties tab. Now under the output properties tab, make sure you change your file format. Very important. If you don't change it, you won't have the video form. So change this to ffmpeg video, right? So once you click on this, right, then you choose your location. I'm going to put it on my desktop and give it a name. I can give it like animation. Okay, and then accept. Good. And then once you do this, you are ready to render. So you click on render and click on render animation. Alright guys, thanks for watching and have a good time, and don't forget to always keep practicing, keep working, and bye.